What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? MonkeyFlop here, and today I wanted to talk about Sony acquiring Insomniac Games, which, by the way, is one of my favorite game studios. But before we do that, I actually wanted to mention that Sony's not finished with just acquiring Insomniac Games. A lot of people are like, oh man, this is amazing news, but they're going to be acquiring a lot more game studios. They've been hush-hush about Insomniac Games. They're going to be hush-hush about the other, studios until it's time to actually make a public announcement. And this is actually good for the video game industry. We know that competition breeds more innovation and more creative things. And honestly, I'm really excited to be a gamer right now in this moment. We have Microsoft, who's already acquired so many different studios. We have Sony, who's acquired Insomniac Games and other, studios that they have not announced yet. So very interesting and exciting. So I'd love to know how you guys think about that in those comments down below. Now let's go ahead and talk about Insomniac Games, because their relationship between, Insomniac Games and Sony has been going strong since the 1900s. When I say 1900s, I mean 1990, when Spyro first got released. We've seen a lot of PlayStation exclusives come out of Insomniac Games, and one of the most notable ones has been Spider-Man, which, by the way, sold like 3 million units within the first week, I believe, which is crazy to say the least, but they're not stopping there. Now, Shawn Layden, who's actually the chairman for Sony Interactive Entertainment, went on an interview and said some interesting things, and I wanted to kind of touch on those things as well. A lot of people were asking, okay, well, what about the intellectual properties and, the games that are on other platforms like Sunset Overdrive? What's going to happen to that? He didn't give a clear answer to what's going to happen to, that in the relationship that they got going on with Xbox at all. He didn't mention that. What he did mention was that they were going to give them, freedom to do what they're doing now and even more in the future. Basically, Sony is going to be backing Insomniac Games, but not only that, because a lot of people, reported on this, but they kind of missed one key point, is that Sony sees how much Insomniac Games is worth and the technology that they put into their games, that they want Insomniac Games to help breed new studios and help share some of the information that they have. And if you go on and read the article, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But very interesting to say the least. It's honestly an exciting time to be a gamer. What are some of your favorite games coming out of Insomniac Games? We do know that Sony is going to be investing heavily into Ratchet and Clank in the next generation of console. Some people are speculating that we'll get it in PlayStation 4. I highly doubt that, because PlayStation 5 is coming up very, very soon. We do know that, Ratchet and Clank is a really popular first-party PlayStation exclusive, if you will, that is going to be a big thing in the future. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? And then also, we do have Sunset Overdrive, which is on Xbox. Now, don't get all crazy for me saying Xbox on a PlayStation channel, but, a couple of months ago, which is kind of ironic, but really not, because given the news and the speculation surrounding the last video I made about Sunset Overdrive, there was a lot of heavy speculation that Sunset Overdrive would be coming to PlayStation. Very interesting to say the least, but like I said, Shawn Layden didn't really touch on that, but I do believe, because Insomniac Games has this thing which is actually pretty cool. Some people have played Sunset Overdrive, and there's definitely a lot of potential to grow with Sunset Overdrive, and maybe doing a Sunset Overdrive 2 would be an awesome thing, especially if it were to come to PlayStation as well. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on, Insomniac Games and Sony's partnership. For me, it's an awesome time to be a gamer. It's an awesome time because not only are we getting the next generation of consoles very soon, which I was kind of hesitant. I was like, you know what? I don't want it anytime soon. But given the fact that there's so much competition and there's so much that is going on in the games industry, it's actually exciting for me to see what the future holds with PlayStation 5. Don't get me wrong, I'm perfectly content with my PlayStation 4 as it is right now, especially with the PlayStation 4 Pro. I mean, you get everything you want. There's some features that I really wish they had, but that's another topic for another video. Make sure you guys go and watch Game on MonkeyFlop later on today. I'll have a separate video on that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit a like, comment down below. Let me know what you guys honestly think about everything we talked about. What are some of the other game studios that you think Sony is going to acquire other than Insomniac Games? Drop those comments in the comments down below. And thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next news update. You guys are freaking awesome.